Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing part 2 of the forging a butterfly knife. So today my plan is to forge at least the rough shape of the blade and maybe rough shape the handles as well. Depends on how long it takes me. But I've got a piece of coil spring in the fire right now. It looks like it's hot. And I'm going to just flatten this down to make the blade. With this one, you can see it's pretty thin, about, I'd say either an 1/8 or a 1/16, somewhere in there. I'm going to make mine a little thicker. It'll be sturdier and a little more long-lasting that way. So, as I'm reducing this down, I think I've got a little too much material here. But I do want this to be significantly thicker than the example that I'm working off of. So, I have some wiggle room there, I think. So this is about as thick as I want it down here. I'm going to bring that all the way back up, and I can start actually shaping the blade itself. So now that I've got this piece down to size where I want it, I'm going to start to shape the blade. To do that, I do have to leave a space where I can drill holes. It's got to have wings of a sort. So I'm going to leave a much thicker portion at the end of it, and then I'll shape that with files to where I can use it to attach it to the handle pieces. But I want the blade itself to be much thinner than this. So I am going to draw it down a little bit. I don't want to make it too much longer. I might end up cutting some of the material off because there's a lot here. But we'll see. Okay, so the length of this piece is about where I want it. I'm going to cut some off the tip so that I can forge. I'll probably cut it here and then forge it back to the same length by making the actual tip itself. I also do have to draw this back down a little bit, but I think from now on I'll be using my smaller hammer. There's just less heavy work to do, more fine work, so that hammer's better suited for that kind of thing. All right, so I've got the main shape of the tip of the blade done. I'm going to start working down towards the back end here, cleaning up this section. Well, I've gone and burnt the end off. So I think what I'm going to try is I'm going to try and forge weld a mild steel piece on the end here. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So I need to fold a pocket to put that in. And I'll probably just use some 1/2 inch round, perhaps. That'll be better anyway, because then I don't have to drill holes through tool steel. That's always annoying. It is a little frustrating to have a setback, but there's always a setback. So I'll get back to you when I have that piece forged for the forge weld itself. So what you just saw there was the piece with the pocket of mild steel around it and some borax on it. I'm going to weld it together. It should be a pretty difficult weld since it's 2 different types of steel, but I've done harder welds before, so with luck and with, you know, a little bit of effort, I should be able to weld this together without too big of a problem. I'll go back in for a second welding heat, put some more borax on just to make sure it's set. But it seems to have stuck. This looks all right. I'm going to put some borax here, see if I can take my light hammer, sort of tap that edge in on both sides. That'll be a little difficult. If not, I'll just grind it away. Not too big of a deal. As you can see, that edge is blended pretty well into the piece as a whole. I'm going to go back through and thin this piece down on the end here, and then I will cut some of it off and use a grinder to do the rough shaping before I drill the holes. I'm not going to do the grinding on camera. It's pretty boring to watch, so when I have the piece to the shape I want, I'll come back and start working on the shape of the handles as well. All right, so I've got the holes drilled on all three pieces. As you can see, I'm going to go ahead and make some rivets, and then I will bend these over. So I'm now going to move on to making the rivets. Probably once I get the rivets done and the handles bent to shape so that I can roughly assemble it, that'll be where I'll leave this video off. bent over, and at least the beginnings of some rivets. I just wanted to fit it up, see how it fits together. It looks all right. I'm definitely going to have to do a hot fit up for this because these forged parts are not exactly the closest fitting, but that's okay. But anyway, if you guys are still watching, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe and a comment. All of these things help out my channel, help me get noticed, and more people to see my content, so I would highly appreciate it. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.